Hello, GDQ. Y'all hyped to see some Wacca today? All right, I'm just gonna do a very quick explanation. This is a rhythm game. It's an arcade rhythm game. This game was live service in arcades. So when this game was online, I say was because it is now offline, you could take what they call an IC card, scan this on the machine physically, and then it would load up profile data. So you would be able to like go through progression systems, save your scores, unlock new songs, stuff like that. They would push bi-weekly updates. Unfortunately, this game released during COVID, so it didn't do very well during the early stages of its life, so it's now offline. So today we're running the offline build of Wacca Reverse. You might look at this thing, it's like really, really flashy. So basically this game features a full 360-degree touch surface. So basically, if I touch this machine, it's gonna recognize all of my inputs. So that being said, this game is very flashy, so I'm gonna give a quick epilepsy warning, and we do have one volume warning in the showcase. So just to like preface that. That said, I'm gonna hand it over to my commentators, let them introduce myself while I get through menuing.
All right, so hello everyone, I'm Silvi.
I'm Orca.
And I'm Jack, I go by Losermanwins.
Yeah, really excited to show this showcase off to everyone. This one is really special because this is the first showcase featuring an arcade cabinet, nonetheless an arcade rhythm game at the GDQ venue. And we're really honored to be able to have this showcase here for everyone to enjoy.
You might recognize this one.
Yep, starting with a classic.
Yep.
So NB1RS is going to be editing a little bit of their settings here, just changing some of the background filtering to make it a little bit easier to read.
That said, I think we're good to go.
Yep.
Yep.
Time
Shout out
starts
to
when the
Cerno.
song starts.
Yep. All
All right.
Ready for time? Time has started.
Time
I was supposed to count.
started. Go.
Okay, start the timer.
So, what exactly is this Wacca cabinet? So like NB1RS has mentioned, this is the main input scheme is this full 360-degree touch panel. We have 12 panels over here featuring 20 touch sensors. So we have a total of 280 sensors that can detect a wide range of motions and inputs from your hands, which will allow for a very wide array of combinations to hit, and charts are very fluid and really innovative, and we really show that off as we go through the showcase.
Yeah, and this is a rhythm game. Some of you might know what rhythm games are, but if you don't, I'm here to explain. So these notes that are going down the play field, they're going to be different colors, and those colors represent different things. So these purple notes that are shown up here are called tap notes. You just need to tap any of the sensors that are in line with it, and you will get a judgment for it. And then also these long orange notes, let's see if one shows up, they are called hold notes. And so you have to tap the beginning of it and you hold it down for the entire duration. And those are in mostly every rhythm game, you'll see tap and hold notes. However, what makes Wacca special is going to be the swipe notes that show up in the showcase. So there's 4 different directions. This chart only has 2 of them, one that goes clockwise and one that goes counterclockwise, which is green and orange respectively. And then there will also be red and blue swipes that will go forward and backwards. So all 4 kind of cardinal directions.
Just let the rest of the song play out here.
And these also, I didn't mention these, the chain notes, these kind of like caution tape looking things are called chain notes. You will always get the maximum score for them as long as your hand is in the sensor at any point. You don't have to time it at all. As long as your hand is holding down on the sensor that matches it, you will get a perfect score for it.
And speaking of lack of timing, swipe notes also cannot early. So as long as you're hitting the directional requirement, you'll just get the max score for it. You can, however, get a late judgment on it. We'll start off with a full
Our
combo.
first FC.
And the cat does this little light show for every full combo you do.
This cabinet is very, very flashy. And we actually did a little fun thing with it to make the lights even brighter than they already are. So you guys are going to enjoy that through the shoulder cam, actually, that's on the stream here.
All right.
Hey, before we get into this next song, I just want to update y'all that we're 98% of the way to the boss rush incentive.
Already?
So,
Starting strong.
let's go.
Some more setting adjustments here.
Yep, that setting that they just moved to +4 is more the background filtering, so it's making the background even darker. It's gonna hide most of the background video. Rhythm gamers a lot of times kind of try to hide a lot of the things that are distracting in the game, and so NB1RS is doing this to try to focus in more on the gameplay.
Yep. And one thing to mention is that this game is produced and developed by Marvelous with collaboration with prominent music label Hardcore Tano-C. And this song is very popular within that label. If you would like to explain a little bit, Jack.
Yeah, so this game was it was released originally in 2019. Like Silvi said, it was produced in cooperation with Hardcore Tano-C, who is Japan's biggest Japanese hardcore music label. That's most of the music you're going to hear today is Japanese hardcore. And Marvelous had actually never made a rhythm game before making this. They were mostly known for making kids Pokemon Japanese arcade games. That was mostly what they made, but they decided they wanted a challenge, so they decided to make a rhythm game. And that became Wacca. And so, in addition to working with Tano-C on the music for the game, the artists in Tano-C also worked on the charts for the game. So when we say a chart, that's just how the notes are arranged in relation to the music you're hearing. So, where a note is placed relative to a sound, that's part of the chart. The artists for Tano-C worked on the charts, which for rhythm games these days is quite uncommon. Usually there are in-house charters that make the charts, and then the artists make the music. It's usually separate. But Tano-C artists also worked on the charts for this game.
Yeah, and talking about charts, a typical thing you'll see in rhythm games is each song will kind of have a couple different charts, right? So those are usually what we refer to as difficulties. So this one is a hard, it's also a level 10, so there's two different distinctions. This game has difficulties of normal, hard, and expert, and then also Inferno, which is kind of like the final boss. And then it will also have a number associated with it. So this one is a 10. The game goes all the way from 1 to 15. So we started with Bad Apple at a 5 and then jumped straight up to a 10. So it's a little bit of a jump there. And then we only have a little bit to go, another 5, but the game really exponentially ramps up as you start to get into those upper numbers. You also see some of these forward and backward swipes, those red and blue ones.
Yep,
Those
starting to get a
are
little more
new
complex.
effects.
Now, the higher we go up in the difficulties, the more it's really going to utilize the full range of the circular touch panel. I believe that is...
Is that? Yep.
Yep. Another full
Nice.
combo.
Gonna have to keep amping it up. Too easy.
Up next, we got our first expert.
Yep.
Yep.
So NB1RS is going to edit more of their settings. This is going to be closer to what they would actually use in the arcade if they were trying to go for top scores. Gonna just increase the scroll speed, which we didn't talk about, but you can really edit your speed. This menu actually goes in increments of 0.1, which is very minute, and so players can really hone in on what they want to use. Then NB1RS is also going to change some other things about how the game looks. Going to turn on a score subtractive system, which I will talk about a little bit once we get into the song, as well as turning on a different note color scheme. This one is for the colors that are around the ring. So it's going to change those lights that show up while they're playing.
Really show how you're feeling, your mood of sorts.
Yep.
Make sure to check out that shoulder cam for the lighting.
All right.
And yeah, going into the levels, this is a 12 plus.
Y'all want to hear something really hype?
Yes.
I do.
We hit that reverse boss
Let's
rush.
go.
Let's go.
So we just went from 19 to 26 songs, and if you want to see song number 27, the hardest song in the game, Mobius Inferno, we have a new incentive open. We got to raise 15 grand. I'm going to be quiet so we can watch this performance, but get those incentives or donations in, please.
Yes, please. Mobius is no joke. You really want to go hit that incentive.
Yeah, if you want to see Mobius.
So one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit with this song actually is it's a remix of a song that was already in Wacca, but it released during a version of the game, is actually the one we're playing on now, called Wacca Reverse. So when we're talking about arcade rhythm games, they go through a couple of different updates throughout their lifetime just to kind of keep the game fresh. because the developers like to keep people coming to the arcades, and so you want to update it every once in a while and pull people back in. And so Wacca started out just called Wacca. That's the name of the game, so we'll call it that. And then it went over to Wacca S, and then Wacca Lily, then Wacca Lily R, and then finally reverse. So in Wacca Lily R, they introduced something called an R note, which is, I believe, R notes are worth twice as much, right?
Yep.
Twice as much as a normal note, and so missing them kind of takes a lot away.
Yes, you can see this in the little details pane right next to the gameplay, where it gives the breakdown of the judgments. The numbers in the parentheses are how many R notes you got of those judgments.
So R notes will contribute a lot to your score. Missing them will be very detrimental to getting a good grade.
Yeah, and that also means that any chart or song that was in the game before Lily R actually was the mix that it was released in, which is a decent amount of the song list actually just don't have R notes in them. And so those judgments that are in parentheses, it just won't have anything for some of them.
This also does give us our scoring system in the game. Now that you say the subtractive score, you see the max score of 1 million. Every note is worth basically the number of notes plus, or it's 1 million divided by the number of notes in a chart plus the number of R notes. And most of the grades that we were getting on these passport songs were SSS+, which the requirement is to get a 990,000, or rather like 99% accuracy, which is no easy task with how many points each note is worth relative to that grade. Coming up to the end here, another full combo.
Awesome.
All right, we got some menuing coming up here, so if the host wants to read a donation really quick.
Yeah, absolutely, y'all. How about this? $500 from Star Rod Kirby 86.
Let's go.
They say thank you, NB1RS, for being an amazing representative of the Western rhythm game community and keeping the love for Wacca shining on. From one washing machine appliance player to another, I wish you a missless fortune of all marvelous mastery.
Right back at you, Kirby. Thank you for your work as well.
Thanks, Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby ran My at GDQ before, so familiar name here.
We also have a $10 donation from the BSAC community. They say, this is a very important announcement from all Wacca fans. Wacca will turn into an aluminum can unless the reverse boss rush incentive is finished. To save Wacca, donate for NB1RS to run the wildest Wacca songs ever. Let's keep supporting the arcade rhythm game community. I got good news for you, y'all. We did hit that incentive, so I'm glad they're happy.
So I think Twitch chat is going to know this one. So get your copy pastes ready.
It will not be a proper showcase without the classic brain power.
Before we get to the chorus, just to quickly talk about brain power. It wasn't actually originally made for this game or really any game you've seen recently. It was made for, well, you saw Sound Voltex 2 years ago at SGDQ, which is the game that it originally came from. It was originally made for a song contest for that game. And when the license for it was up, Noma decided to not renew it and take it out of Sound Voltex so it could be in other games. So you've probably seen it in a ton of other games, and that's because he decided to take it out so it could be in other games. And so here we have it in Wacca.
And this is really at like the peak of its popularity because of the copy pasta. Yep, very prevalent, which we'll probably see a lot.
You want to see Twitch chat going crazy for this one.
Yep.
Yeah, another thing you actually might see a little bit in this chart, as we get into the upper difficulties, the actual tactile feedback of the touch sensors doesn't really give you a lot when it comes to timing. And so to kind of counteract that, Wacca actually has an indicator which will show you whether you're hitting the note fast or slow. And so NB1RS also turned that on so that they can kind of adjust to that as they play.
All right, here we go.
Absolutely amazing.
Wow, nice.
Too easy.
All right.
It's no easy chart too.
それじゃ次の曲を選んでね
Can I get in a quick
I hope
donation?
some of y'all like VTubers.
Yeah, you can do a quick donation.
Yeah, we have a $1,337 donation. Yeah, give it up. From Penguin, who says, hey, NB1RS, I'm so glad that you're having the opportunity to display your skills to such a large audience. It's always a treat to see these rhythm game showcases at Games Done Quick. My only question to you is, Ongeki when?
Keep up the good question.
Don't tempt them. They're good at Ongeki too.
Yeah. So I actually mentioned earlier the difficulties of the game being normal, hard, and expert. This is our first Inferno that we're going to see the showcase. So this was a difficulty that was released kind of later on in the lifespan of Wacca. And usually charts will not release with Inferno, though sometimes they will. With this one specifically, it was added later on. And Infernos can kind of either be the ultimate representation of the song, or it can kind of be a meme chart. In this instance, it's kind of a meme chart. If you'll notice, the only swipes that we'll see in this entire chart are the red and the orange ones. If you guys know anything about VTubers, Peko Miko, orange, red. So it's matching the VTubers, which is a really cool nod that the charters did for this.
I believe the Inferno mix of this song has a unique drop that's not present in the other difficulties, right?
Yep. Yeah, the Inferno diff is actually 1 second longer than the expert diff, even though it's the same song.
And fun fact, during this Hololive collab, Peko and Miko had a live stream of them playing on a Wacca cab in their VR metaverse, basically. And it's really cool is seeing Wacca getting so many collabs with like just prominent figures, both from other games and even Hololive. I think we have time for another donation real quick.
Absolutely. Let's see here. From Fickle Heart, they donate $50 and say, we want Mobius. We want Mobius.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We need to raise another at least $13,000 to get there. Only just over 10% of the way there. Get those donations in, everybody. And $20 from Silent Black Cat. Hi, Isaac. Oh, so proud of you for putting this showcase on. Your dedication to Wacca is really inspiring. And watching you play in person is super impressive. When's the right cosplay, by the way?
This is kind of what Wacca is known for. These hardcore kicks, this really intense music. It's kind of a hardcore Tennessee staple.
Yeah, this is Japanese hardcore right here.
Notice how they keep one of their hands kind of fixed on one point and then moved around with the other hand.
Wow.
Amazing.
All full combos so far?
NB1RS has not missed a note in the showcase yet.
One.
For anyone who is both into rhythm games and VTubers, there's a clip circulating on Twitter right now of Fubuki playing U-Beat. And it is the most wonderful thing to watch because she is just so happy playing the game, and it is so entertaining to watch. All right.
Now we have another collab, but this time with another very prominent music name.
Shoutouts to Musedash.
Any Musedash players?
Oh yeah, we got some.
More than I expected.
So this song was released a little down the line in Wacca's lifespan, and this is really when they started to hone in on their charting styles, being more choreographed and making you go with a specific flow to hit specific patterns. Kind of going to a little more Orca.
Yeah, definitely. When you chart for a rhythm game, it really is kind of like you are an artist that is taking your own interpretation of the music. And the more that you do it, the better that you get at it. And so with this song being released so much later in the lifespan, the charters had a couple more years to really hone their craft. And so this chart implements a really interesting thing that we call flow in rhythm games. With arcade rhythm games, there's a lot of movement. I mean, if you're looking over that over-the-shoulder camera, moving around the entire circle, And so what charters will do is they will try to put the notes in a way that leads your hands in reasonable directions, right? They are leading you to where they want you to be so that you don't have to kind of interrupt your movements. Makes it feel really janky, makes it feel really stiff and not fun. So this chart with these hold notes, they lead you exactly to where it wants you to go. And that's an example of what we would call good flow.
Something worth mentioning is NB1RS changed their hold colors to blue. The notes have not changed at all. It's just the color. You can change those pretty much to whatever you'd like.
Yeah, Wacca has a really big range of colors that you can change literally any note to. It really gives its players all the power to make their playfield however they want.
Yeah, Wacca kind of became known for the game that collaborates with like every other game. Even like after it went offline, it still gets new collaborations with rhythm games that are still active. So you'll definitely see plenty of collaboration songs, both that have come to Wacca and gone to other games in this.
Yeah, and you'll see in the middle, it still says 1 million on the screen. This is the subtractive scoring that we were talking about earlier. Basically, all it does is it shows you that the score that you would get if you got all Marvelous for the rest of the chart. And Marvelous is the best judgment in the game.
It's useful because sometimes they'll let you know, like, as in the middle of a run, if you're on pace for either like a PB or a certain score breakpoint, whereas other games, it's only additive scoring. So you'd only really know after you finish the chart.
Yeah, it's also worth noting this back half here is what we would probably say is a diff spike. It's where the chart really picks up and gets a lot harder.
Yeah, some slides stacked on holds there.
Yeah.
And full combo.
Awesome.
Two greats.
Two greats.
Still very
Very close.
good. No.
Now, if any of y'all like that song and thought it was a banger, DJ Norican, one of the artists for this song, actually just released an album a couple months ago with an extended version of this song, and it goes up to like 5 minutes long. It's crazy.
Yeah, actually, that's something that we should talk about. With arcade rhythm games, you kind of have a set time that you play when you card in, when you actually play a set. Obviously, you don't want to make every song like 10 minutes long because then one person's going to man the cabinet for like an hour. Okay, so what they will do is basically you can either get a song and cut it down shorter, or the artist can make a song that just matches that limit. And Wacca is actually kind of known for having a bit of a longer song time. Usually songs kind of land around like 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes, whereas other rhythm game companies will try to keep it like under 2 minutes, so that sets are about 10 minutes long.
You know, honestly, I'm just like so excited to even be here right now. I'm so happy to show off Wacca. I'm feeling a little jolly almost.
Yeah, a little jolly, right? After that score and what we just learned about the extended. Here,
Exactly.
actually, I got gifts for everyone, actually.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
presents?
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Got one for
It's
you.
feeling like Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
One for you, too.
It's going over the mic.
It's Christmas already.
Christmas in July.
So yeah, this is Jingle Death, remix of the very well-known song, Jingle Bells. We call this a Requiem remix of sorts.
If you can see a bit of the video during this as well, it's great.
What a banger.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think you'll get the gist of this remix pretty quickly here.
Rest in peace to T Pazolite here, who is getting pushed into a wall.
In the video, he's being bullied.
Okay, so memes aside, this probably needs a little bit of explaining. So Jingle Death was a collab between two artists, and they actually released it in a winter, like Christmas-themed update. So arcade rhythm games, again, talking about updates, they like to do things that are pretty timely. For example, like whenever there's Golden Week in Japan, usually rhythm games will kind of try to release more content so that people that are on vacation can play more. For Wacca, every Christmas they would release a Christmas song. And Other than that, like April Fool's Day, a lot of rhythm games will do kind of April Fool's charts, which are really silly and kind of break the bounds of what is usually allowed by the rhythm game.
You can see this chart very fast compared to a lot of the stuff we've played so far. Just really fast patterns requiring alternating your hands very quickly. You know, they're not chain notes. You have to lift your hand and hit those.
Okay, so you really have like a mix of difficulty when it comes to just the speed and execution you need to hit certain patterns, or the technicality, which we'll see if
Yeah, so
see the
definitely more,
variety
of
of later. Yeah.
definitely more of a speed chart.
It's really just the style of Graham songs in general, just very fast and not for your own benefit. Wow, wow.
Who is that saying Merry Christmas?
I think
in
it's
the
Graham.
second?
Is
Is
it
it?
Graham?
I think so.
I think it's
Requiem.
Graham. I have no idea.
Y'all want an update on that Mobius incentive?
Yes.
I would like it.
Okay, so
Right.
21% of the way there. We still need to raise over $11,000 to get there. I know we can do it. Also, I have a $75 donation from Crying, who says, "Hey NB1, this dono is made on behalf of everyone here in Sad Otters.
Let's go.
Wild to see you showing your skills on the big screen instead of in a Discord call with us at 3 in the morning. Best of luck with the run, and let's get that boss rush goal met so we can make our friends suffer." I think they mean the Mobius Inferno incentive.
We did already meet the boss rush incentive.
Yeah, we sure did.
All right. I thought that song was just a little bit fast, so I'm going to find something a little bit slower
Yeah.
paced just for us to, like, you know, have a good time with. You know, just like chill, relax.
Have a little
Have
break
a good
here.
time.
Yeah. And by a good
Volume
time,
warning, by the way.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
This is our
Why are you
volume warning, just in case, by the way.
So
Wow.
1 BPM. How
1 beat per minute.
How slow can this be?
This is my favorite song.
What a banger.
So the funny thing about this song is that it's 1 BPM, right? Indicated by the title. Actually, it's charted at 120 BPM. So internally, yeah, charted at 120 BPM. And DJ Myosuke loves to do harsh noise songs like this. He's kind of known for that. And so the song is just basically one distorted kick, and he just stretched it out for like half a minute.
Enjoy the spiral.
I feel like harsh noise is an understatement.
With those spiral note, you can just hold your hands on both sides of the cab. Since the note goes fast enough, you don't have to move your hands.
The song is so soothing to the ears.
Chill Wacca beats to relax to.
I used to listen to the song to go to sleep.
It's like white noise.
It is.
The song is longer than I remember.
Yeah.
I love this song so much. This is my comfort music.
One important technical thing, actually, when it comes to how NB1RS actually plays this game, in this chart, you will see a lot of these tap notes that are kind of stacked. And he can do something called slide cheesing, where basically you can just hold your hand on the touch sensor on the first note, so you play like a normal tap, and then you just kind of slide your hand around. And as long as the notes are kind of close enough together, you will just get all Marvelous for all of it if you're just sliding. So you don't have to actually tap every single note there.
Nice.
Awesome, that's
Still has not missed a note.
Yeah.
No, that's actually very.
I
That's
gotta
very
ask,
impressive.
like, with the Mobius Inferno, what are the chances of a full combo if that incentive gets met?
Impossible.
Zero.
Impossible. Not
Impossible?
happening.
I gotta see it. I want to see you try.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, they're full comboed every song so far, and Mobius will not happen. So that
It
should
just
give you an
won't.
idea of how much harder Mobius is than everything you see in this showcase.
like we
So
mentioned.
donate, it's good.
We mentioned that the highest grade you can get is in Triple S Plus at a 990. Only 4 people in the world have that achieved, and only 1 person has the highest grade you can get, which is an All Marvelous.
Yeah.
It is brutal beyond belief.
All right. Speaking of hard songs, this is our first 14. which for most of the game is the hardest difficulty. This song was also kind of like the first, we call them boss songs. So oftentimes, when rhythm games get updated, they get, a set of songs put in. You have to unlock them kind of in order. And then the last song will be like the hardest song in that set of unlocks. It'll be like a new original song for the game. It'll usually be like the highest difficulty of the game available. And oftentimes the songs will also introduce tech that's never been used before. So it's kind of a new way for them to like push the boundaries when they come out. So when we talk about like a boss song, that's what that's referring to. And this is like the first major boss song of Wacca. So you're gonna see a noticeable difficulty increase from here.
Yeah, this was like the final kind of boss song of the original version of Wacca. And so like Jack was talking about, they were really trying to expand on their horizons with how they take the difficulty of the game. Like, do we want to kind of push it in like the speed, up the BPM, and just kind of make everything faster? Or do we want to make things a little bit more technical, make it a little bit harder to read? And for this song, they kind of did both. So you'll see stuff like this with these long holds. They kind of make you hold with one hand and then do all of these swipes in a bunch of different directions with the other hand. This long swipe right here, NB1RS is choosing to use both hands for the swipe. Really watch this over the shoulder cam here. Doing a technique called bracketing here, which is where you're hitting two notes at the same time with one hand.
Yeah, it's a carryover term from dance games, referring to where you step between two panels on the metal bracket with your foot to hit two notes.
And going on the part about the unique patterning, usually it's a bit of a trend in rhythm games where they'll add these fairly unique patterns that are just really hard to hit. But then as the game goes on, they'll maybe add more songs at like a much slower pace with those hit patterns to really give you more like visibility.
Yeah, they use the boss song to kind of see what works and then take that and then make the natural progression up to there. They don't want to just throw players into this. You want to actually be able to work your way up. And so like NB1RS has been playing this game since the very beginning. So they've worked their way up from the lower levels all the way up to here.
Yeah. And fun fact about this chart, in Wacca tournaments that have been going on, this is considered a personal choice based on how well you can hit certain patterns. And the theme of this is these full circle notes, which can be really hard to parse depending on how you read it.
Adds a lot of visual clutter to the chart.
Missless.
Hey, it's a missless.
But I see one miss though on the tracker.
All right, so NB1RS got a missless, but there was one miss. If you get under 5 misses, but not 0 misses, you get a missless. We do not know why it is called that, even though you get misses.
Maybe it just means you get less misses, or the game is just telling you to miss less. I don't know.
Yeah, just miss less.
Please miss less.
All right, I think we can get a donation right here.
Yep.
Absolutely right. Donates $100, it says. Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, NB1RS, here's $100 to play Mobius Inferno. If your arms haven't fallen off, you aren't playing hard enough. Wacca so long.
Shout out, right?
$25 from Vera, who says, it's Morbid time.
It's Morbid.
It is
Morbid time, it's true. I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
I can't believe they made a song out of it called Mobius.
Inferno.
There were so many jokes when that song came out.
It was inescapable, yeah.
All right, we're gonna take it down a notch slightly for a minute here.
Yeah, so we went from Invisible Frenzy, which was a 14, and we're dropping all the way down to Hanatachi ni Kibo, which is a 12. So very, very big jump, even though it's only 2 letters. Like I was saying earlier, those difficulty ratings really get exponential as you go through. And an interesting thing about this song actually is it was featured in a song contest. So Jack was talking about how Brainpower was kind of submitted to Sound Voltex through a song contest. This song was submitted by Soundpiercer to a song contest called BMS of Fighters. And so it's kind of like a big community thing. BMS is a colloquial term used to refer to any simulator of the game Beatmania 2DX. And it's kind of developed its own community. And so they hold these contests to have composers get together with charters and artists to make this whole experience in a song and then submit it for the contest and just kind of see who does well. It's really just kind of for bragging rights, but you will often get your name out as a composer. And so Soundpiercer, the BMS of Fighters that they submitted the song to, they actually ended up winning. And so now that's how we were able to see the song in this game. The producers of Wacca were like, this song's pretty cool, let's add it to our game.
even the most like popular songs in rhythm games in general have been from the BMS format.
Yep. A lot of the artists just in general have gotten, Japanese artists in general have gotten their start. I mean, even non-Japanese artists have gotten their start from BMS. Just artists that become big in rhythm games.
Freedom Dive is a BMS song.
It is.
Freedom Dive is a BMS song. So is Conflict, if you've heard of that song.
Yeah. Coming up to this section here, we have a lot of triplet jacks. So not Jack my commentator, it's actually a pattern called jacks. It's short for jackhammers. Just refers to having to hit kind of the same area consecutively. So you're hitting it kind of like you were a jackhammer.
And depending on how fast the note is, you might want to alternate those jacks with two hands so it's easier to go faster and maybe sometimes time.
Or in Wacca, you can even slide kind of in place.
Yes, there is a break point. I believe it's 150 BPM, 6/10 notes.
Yeah.
Where if the first note is a marvelous, you can just slide the whole cabinet, and the rest of the notes, if they're that tightly packed, will be all marvelouses as well.
Yeah, as rhythm gamers, the rhythm game tells us what to do, and then we, as rhythm gamers, kind of decide how we want to do it.
Especially at high level.
Yeah, and NB1RS is definitely a treat to watch because they go for a lot of really unconventional patterns, which are very, very flashy. I could really not think of a better person to showcase this game at GDQ.
Yeah, if we haven't said it enough times, definitely watch the shoulder cam because you can see a lot of techniques that they use to hit unique patterns. And they might even be doing stuff that's sort of unintentional.
I just recommend watching the shoulder cam in general, especially when we get later into the run, because this game is very physically demanding, which is also a skill set in its own.
Oh. Just dropped one great.
So
there.
close.
Two grades.
Still only one miss total, right?
Yeah, only on Invisible Frenzy.
And on the original boss song too.
I would like to emphasize that BMS is not just for music producers. There are separate categories for people who are making the music videos and also the charts. So it really does like encapsulate all aspects of like the creative mediums within rhythm games.
Yeah, it's an awesome event.
Oh, we got a banger coming up.
Yeah, the song that we have coming up is Knight Rider. It was one of the launch titles actually for Wacca. And so this chart, if you went to an arcade on the day that Wacca released, you could play this song, day one. And because of that, it has a lot of early patterns that kind of suffer from age that we'll probably talk about once we get into it a little bit more. But this is definitely something that I would call janky.
A lot of up and down swipes in this one. This song is one of the songs that has crossed out of Wacca a lot. It's in like every game that that Wacca has collaborated with, especially the arcade games.
I don't blame him, it's a banger.
It is a banger.
So this artist, Yusao, that made this song, they kind of have a motif in Wacca, which are these forward and backward swipes. And so pretty much any song by Usao, you will see that repeated, which is a really interesting thing Jack mentioned towards the beginning, where the artists were kind of called upon to maybe chart their own songs, or even sometimes chart other artists' songs. And so as an artist, when you are kind of changing that musical representation from the song into making this chart for a rhythm game, you will have the motifs from the song and try to turn that into a motif in the chart. And so Usao turned that into those forward and backward swipes. NB1RS playing this whole section one-handed.
Just to show off.
Yep. Another thing that this chart actually does, or I guess rather doesn't do too much, is it doesn't really use the full circle to its full capabilities, which it's kind of the point of this was a launch song, so they were still getting used to things. But it feels a little bit cramped with a lot of these drills, or what they're called, where it's just kind of repeated 16th notes between your hands. They can feel a little bit close together, and so with the touch sensors, it's really easy to trigger a note early that you didn't mean to. So you saw that a couple times. NB1RS actually did that.
Another missless.
Yeah, that ending is really brutal with,
It really is.
with the double swipes of the same.
Yeah, you have to
like,
alternate those.
That's brutal.
All right, up next we got Cloud9. Which, fun fact, this song, the person who made this chart is also a song artist in rhythm games, which is really interesting.
Yep, so here you have an
familiar.
example of an artist making a chart for a song they didn't write.
I'd also like to point out this is by Noma, so he does not only make songs that are brain power.
Yep.
Believe it or not, yeah.
This will be the start of our little gimmick block of the showcase, where we're going to go into a small string of charts that have a lot of visual tricks.
Strange elements.
Yeah, the kind of gimmick of this chart is not only does it have a BPM change later on, but it also utilizes the scroll speed to kind of fake out the player. And so it will kind of increase it and then slow it down to trick the player into hitting a note earlier than they intend. And so this is kind of a staple of arcade rhythm games. They love to do stuff like this.
Yeah, like right there, really adds to the feel of the song.
Very
though.
flashy.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy yet, though. You do have time to kind of see what's coming when it does that.
I believe we do have time for a donation here.
Yo, this chart designer was cooking.
Yeah. Hey, absolutely. Quick incentive update. We're just over a third of the way to that Mobius Inferno. We still got to raise like just under 10 grand, y'all. $9,560 to go. Let's see that incentive hit. Ryle Goat donates $50. They say, hey, NB1, it's Riley. It's so incredible to see you up on stage with such a great cast, commentating for you, accompanying you, and hosting this awesome showcase. Let's get that Mobius incentive, sending love to you, Tari, and the others.
Thank you so much, Riley.
So here's a little BPM seat up here.
Yep, so the BPM's going to speed up a lot here.
Going from 120 to 180 with very awkward rhythms.
Yep, these patterns get very awkward and technical.
Another example of patterns that make it really easy to trigger a note too early and accidentally get a great or a good judgment.
Yeah, the second half of this chart really comes into the technical aspect, because now that we have these very awkward rhythms here, we're about to get to a part that's really going to test your arm independence. So we have our swipes on the whole, as well as our notes that you have to time.
And remember, those highlighted notes are worth double, so missing any is very bad for your score.
Nice.
Nice.
Slight cheesing.
Still
Let's go.
991. Very good. Very good score.
Yeah, like mentioned, like notes are worth so much, so triple S pluses are no easy feat.
You'll find on a lot of harder charts, though, put the R notes on the technical stuff, so it's not easy to score.
Yeah.
Did y'all talk about chart constants yet?
We
No,
can mention
actually.
We have not.
Because that chart was a 13.6, which is
Yes.
the top of the 13 wall. So
Right.
Yeah, so as you've probably seen from some previous charts in their levels, there was sometimes a plus next to it. So every chart in this game has a hidden decimal point, which will denote their difficulty, but this also plays a factor into a person's rating when kind of going for your overall skill set. So a normal level will be like a 12, will be like a 0.0 to a 0.6, and pluses are denoted through 0.7 to 0.9. So like right away, if you're able to find that constant, you can kind of see what difficulty that chart's going to be, which also kind of ties into how hard Mobius is. So for most of the 14s that we're getting into this showcase, majority of them are like 14.0, 14.1, like 14.2. There's nothing in between. Mobius it shoots all the way up to 15, and
That's
it
what
shows.
we mean. By Mobius being harder, it's just so much harder than everything else in the game. It's not even close.
Nothing comes close.
Good.
All right. Time for another crossover song.
Yeah, so Archive here by Ferriquitis was a song that was actually released kind of as a...
I want to be quiet.
Nice. We hit it. So that note has to be timed with the metronome. There is no audio to time that with, and that's an R note. So if you do not hit it, you lose a lot of points.
Yeah, I think if you miss that note, your max automatically drops to 996.
So well done.
That's a lot. But like I was saying, this song was released for a mobile game called Orca, and it was kind of like their boss song. It wasn't really a boss song in the sense that it was really hard. It was more like a lore kind of boss song, so it's very important to the universe of Orca. And because of that, they add a lot of technical stuff in the realm of gimmicks. So a lot of playing like kind of upper half of the circle, a lot of crossovers, and then also a lot of lane speed gimmicks. And this chart actually requires a bit of memorization towards the end because it will kind of just throw notes at you with no real like going into it.
It's going to jump forward.
Yep.
Also, you see some slowdowns here.
It also ties into the memorization aspect of these kind of charts with these gimmicks, because if you're just playing them for the first time, you're not going to expect the lane to just slow down so much. So you'll just naturally hit it really early, and or sometimes not hit it at all.
This vocals is really beautiful. Do you know what they're saying?
No. Do you?
No, actually,
No one knows.
Frequentis, every single song that they've made, the vocals are in a made-up language that no one knows the translations to, so we have no clue what they're singing about. I hope it's something beautiful.
They're saying we want Mobius Inferno.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
are.
actually.
Look at how pretty the lights are here.
Yeah, they're using the unused space here to make the cabinet lights flash. We'll start to see that a little more later, too. You can also see the R notes make the entire circle flash rainbow, which looks really nice.
Nice.
Doing really well through that technical section there.
This is separate though from the bonus message that appears at the top of the screen. That is a completely separate system. I believe it gives a slightly more gauge for your clear.
Coming into the end here.
It has one more gimmick section here towards the end. Nice.
Nice. Still missless. 992. Really good. Opting for a pretty difficult strat there with sliding those tap notes, which is difficult if you slide too fast or too slow. You can get excess grades. So risky
Hey.
strat, but good.
Yeah, real quick. It's really time to start pushing for that Mobius incentive. I want to call for a $5 donation train at 45 minutes. So get your browsers ready. Get ready. When you see 45 minutes on the screen, submit that $5 donation, apply it to the incentive. One of the most fun things at GDQ is watching a donation train just push us all the way there. So let's get it in.
This is a good song for a $5 hype train.
Yep.
So we talked a bit about settings, and a lot of rhythm game players who play seriously will, opt to increase their scroll speed to help the notes separate out and be easier to read. We're gonna show you why, because we're gonna NB1RS is gonna play this on 1 scroll speed, and this is a 14. This is basically some of the hardest stuff in the game. This song is also all swipes.
It's more like the final boss of technical gimmick charts.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a little hard to understand what's going on, and that's true for us too.
But I would definitely recommend just watching the over-the-shoulder cam.
Yes.
Some of the movements that NB1RS does at the start is really mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, and just to kind of extrapolate more on like your settings as a rhythm gamer, it can be very intimidating kind of when you go to the arcade and see players like NB1RS that are so talented in playing with the notes coming at you so fast. But they've worked up to the point to be able to read it at that speed. And so new rhythm gamers kind of tend to try to read something like this, something similar to like 1.0. And the reason that we're doing this really is to show you why that can kind of fall apart as you start to work up the ratings. And so it's really important to kind of be increasing your lane speed as you improve at the game. It makes the game a lot less intimidating.
And definitely check out the body motions that this chart makes you do. It's very fun. It's also about to get a lot harder.
Yeah.
So now we got 3 note swipes.
Like the brackets we mentioned earlier, now they're just doing it with swipes.
And some of the swipes that we'll see here are not present in any other chart.
Yep.
I mean, it is a
And
14
here we
is a
go.
boss song.
Still holding the 990.
Now, if you thought 3 notes was a lot, now we have
Yeah, how about we just
4.
add another in?
Lots of diagonal.
Is this confusing enough, chat?
It gets worse, somehow.
Looking into the vortex of pain here.
もっと楽しませてくれ
We probably have a time for a donation here.
Yeah, absolutely. Do y'all see these donations pouring in right now? We're already at $8,600, over halfway there.
There we go. There we go. Keep it going.
Yep.
I love watching all those $5 donations pop up. Thank you all so much. We want to see Mobius so bad. Anonymous donates $50 and says, Mobius Inferno, please. 10 tickets for you, buddy. Let's keep the hype train going all the way through these next couple songs and ride it all the way to the Mobius Inferno.
So NB1RS is going to be changing their settings back to kind of what they had before, something that they're more used to. And I didn't get to talk about it, but they got a 975 on that chart, which is a very good score. Typically, if they were playing on like their preferred settings, it would probably be somewhere around a 985. They can probably consistently score that really well. And so just that lane speed it can really tank your
Such a huge
score,
factor.
I mean, just being able to hit that chart in the first place is already a feat in itself.
Yeah.
All right, more crossovers. We had Muse Dash fans. Any Lenoda fans? Yes? No? Less.
Seems no.
So Lenoda's another mobile rhythm game. Actually has very similar gameplay to this game. Sort of presented in a circle, although it's on a touchscreen. Because it's another like circle kind of based game, we can get some patterns brought directly over, for better or for worse.
Yeah. Yeah, they really tried porting a lot of the patterns directly from Lenoda into Wacca. And you'll see some of that. Some of it plays a little weird.
Mm-hmm. Some of it just doesn't really translate.
Some work, some don't.
Let me get a little technical with the holds here. I think we can probably do a quick donation.
Yeah, absolutely. The power of $5 is wild. We're over 2/3 of the way there. 10 grand raise to get that incentive. Let me tell you real quickly what the power of your $5 can buy. Your $5 can buy enough vaccine to immunize 13 children against measles, 5 rapid tests to diagnose HIV infection, and 4 treatments to cure adult patients from malaria. So if you have any reason not to donate, I don't know what it is.
So this part coming up is why this song is in our little gimmick block here.
It's a very notable chart around the community. If you're in the crowd, you'll probably know.
Get ready.
All right, now say cheese.
Say cheese, everyone.
All right, anyway, back to Wacca.
Yeah, this is where the chart really picks up, though.
How nice of the game to give us a break there.
Yeah.
The chart is definitely not over yet, though. There's this one really, really tough pattern that kind of determines your score on this entire chart. And we'll see it when we get there.
These mini checks here already add a little bit of awkwardness. But now coming up, we're going to have a lot of swipes, or a lot of vertical swipes. It is just leading into the very notable part that basically gives the chart all of its difficulty where all your score is going to go. It's right here.
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's very hard to hit that. Nice. 99, really close to that.
That is
99.
almost,
That
yeah.
ending section really decides your whole score.
Very nice, y'all. We have so many kind of hilarious donations. Can I read a couple here?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we have $50 from Jared Leto, who says it's morbid time.
No way!
Oh my god.
Hey,
Oh my God.
Jared Leto just wanted 10 tickets. We have $5 from Ryle Goat, who says, Hype Train!
Hype
Let's
train.
go, Riley. $5 from Star Rod Kirby86, who says, hi, it's me. $5 Hype Train, everyone. Play more My My.
Shout out to the shout out to the rhythm game players. Y'all coming out for those donations. Thank you.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate you. And then $5 from Eva, who says, let's go, Mobius.
Yeah, if what you've seen so far, if you think it looks hard, like we can't stress enough that Mobius is just harder than everything that you're gonna see here. So
I mean, we
keep
still
it coming.
we still have to talk about the first incentive that we did reach right at the beginning of the showcase.
We'll get to that, yeah.
The
Which will
First
also
boss
have
rush.
a lot of hard songs in it, so thank you for donating for that.
Yeah, we're gonna start building up towards that difficulty spike here with actually Big Bang. We had Invisible Frenzy as our first 14. Big Bang was a 14 that was added way, way later in the game. And so this is kind of like our technical boss, a little bit of the showcase.
Also, this one has some very fun cab lights, so definitely watch the, especially in the second half, watch the over-the-shoulder cam. You'll see them do some fun stuff with the space that's not being used.
Really fun tap section here. One thing we didn't actually mention was the people that this chart is credited to. So every song it'll say who charted it. For this one, it's the Fumin team. So it's the Wacca Fumin team, which Fumin in Japanese just means chart. It's kind of like sheet music. So it's how we would say chart. And so it's a lot of people, so they got a bunch of different people to chart this one song, and they each got different sections. And so this chart, you can kind of tell, is broken up into a couple different sections, well, they'll repeat kind of the same idea a couple times and then move on.
Some bracket holds here, along with the swipes.
Definitely peep over the shoulder cam for this part.
Yeah, this is the fun lighting.
Yep. It's just going around in a circle.
But those little gaps are limiting your playfield to an extent.
It really makes you feel like you're in a washing machine.
No, that's the other game.
Oh, that's the other game. This could be like honorary washing machine. It could be the dryer.
The giant.
It's an LED ramen bowl.
True.
Yeah. We're actually about to go into the trial right now, actually.
All these notes placed in a hold.
Whoa.
Little butterfly swipes.
Nice. Really good score.
Wow.
904, and that is crazy. Some of those ending sections with those close together tap notes are very tough to hit because you have to slide them.
Yeah.
Very hard to accurate.
And if your execution isn't on point, like your hands are in the wrong place on the touch panel, you can just miss all of them and take all of your score.
Anybody else seeing this incentive on the screen here?
99%.
99.
Wow.
Let's go.
Really took off.
Yeah, can I read just a couple of these train donations real
Yeah.
quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? $500 from Anonymous. Thank you. They say 100 tickets for the Mobius chain. Wacca wacca choo choo. You know, I love when people have better ideas than me. The Off Normie donates $5 and say,
There it is.
oh, okay, let's
NB1RS, I
go.
hope you're ready to be tired.
They say Inferno train going choo choo. We hit that incentive. My bad. Get hype again, y'all.
Let's go. Thank you all for donating.
I hope you have enough water over there.
Yeah, you're going to need more water bottles.
I have 3.
So going into battle number 1, like I mentioned earlier during Big Bang, it was credited to the Wacca Fumin team. This song is also credited to the Wacca Fumin team. So not only do they have a charting team, but the song is also by the Tano C sound team. So this song is just a huge collab between probably more than 15 people.
Yeah.
So there's over 11 artists credited on the song, and then they had about 5 people working on the chart, I believe. So it features motifs from basically every single artist.
Check out this kind of walking pattern on the shoulder cam here.
This is DJ Norikin.
Walking yourself around the circle. And this is sort of the theme of Tano C.
More like the Avengers of sorts.
It's like the Avengers, yeah.
Yeah, like mentioned, the song does have a lot of motifs, but the chart does too, based on the artist.
Yeah, when you get a chart that's kind of a big collab with a bunch of people, you tend to get a chart that's really broken up into specific sections, which for this 14, it makes it really hard because your brain can't kind of latch onto the patterns really easily because they don't really repeat. It just does the thing one time and then it moves on. Like this section here with these forward and backward swipes.
Different DJ music, okay?
Makes you move super, super fast.
And then we have Busao, same artist as Knight Rider. You can see all of those forward and back swipes.
Yep.
If you've played rhythm games before, you're probably hearing a lot of samples you've heard in other songs.
Yep. We're going up to the Kobario section here. Kobario loves to use these full circle tap notes. And the holds are counting down in Roman numerals.
Into the P-line section. Usually the hardest part in collab this game. So.
A lot of R notes here. Nice.
Wow.
Really good score. Alright.
Thank you all so much for that hype
Hi,
train.
Camellia.
So good.
Yeah, shout out to Camellia. Some Camellia enjoyers in the chat.
Yeah, so we're
In the
getting
crowd.
close to the end of our bass showcase here. We have Invisible Frenzy Remix. So this is the fastest song of our showcase. It's at 593, as indicated by the title. It was a remix by Camellia, who this is the first time we're seeing, but now that we've met the Mobius incentive, it won't be the last.
Yep. Yep, so Camellia kind of known in many rhythm games for making the hardest boss songs, and this song is no exception. Just loud, fast, difficult music that get hard charts, and he's in many games. He's in Beat Saber, Sound Voltex, every rhythm game you can think of pretty much he's in it, and he wants to make you suffer.
Yeah, during the end of Wacca's life cycle, they had a song nearly every day, mostly originals, and Camellia decided to pop in as a guest artist to make this remix of the original boss song and make it bossier of sorts.
Yeah, when Wacca was announced that it was going into service, they had a big event where they were releasing a new thing every single day for the month before it was going offline, so they really pulled out all of the big guns for it. This chart is definitely one of them. It actually has a really, really high note count compared to a lot of
Shout out
other
to Pandora
charts. The max combo for the song goes a little bit over 1,400, which is honestly not very common for Wacca, even for some of the harder charts. And so hitting a couple of greats here and there really won't lower your score too much because it gets a bit diluted. Classic Camellia build up.
Techie build up here.
Playing these taps inside the holds can be really dangerous. You don't have, or so that you don't trigger something early.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, you can see those R notes being anchored there. Really important in the time.
Coming up to the end here. Wow.
Such a brutal ending. Absolutely brutal ending. So many of the hard parts are on R notes, just taking your score away. Well done.
That profile picture in the top left corner is how I feel right now.
And to think there's harder than that.
Yeah,
also by
way harder.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Right, so near the end of this credit here, so about time for another donation.
Yep.
If you want, you can go ahead and read a donation real quick.
Yeah, absolutely, y'all. How about this? I have a question. Adora Bible donates $50 and says, can the couch tell us about the Wacca mascot characters at all? And the lizard?
So there are two mascots in this game. One is Aitsu, which is the lizard, and the other one is the sloth. I don't remember his name. If you look, actually, if I scroll on this credit menu, you can see them on the sides kind of like poking out.
They're hiding.
Which is adorable. The third character, Lewin, kind of has like a transformation form, so he kind of is the mascot himself.
Well, I would also like to point out that we're only less than $10,000 away from
this is my last
1.3
one.
million.
Yeah, this is the last song in our main run here.
Yeah, so less than 10,000 away from 1.3 million. And speaking of those sloths and lizards, we also just opened the save or kill the animals incentives. So, what would y'all prefer?
Save them.
Please save.
Save the frames, baby. That's me.
Yeah, so jumping into Dive With You, this song has a lot of emotional baggage with it. So we mentioned the new song Every Single Day during the last month of Wacca's kind of send-off party. This was the last song of that. So this was the last song in Wacca. This Inferno difficulty, it's actually the only Inferno difficulty that is rated lower than its expert. And so they used this chart specifically as a big thank you note to kind of all the players who stuck with their game throughout the couple years that they were in operation. And it has a lot of references to a lot of the iconic patterns and songs in the game. And actually a noteworthy thing is the max combo of the song is 390. And so 3-9 in Japanese is san and kyu, sankyu, thank you. So it's kind of the developer's way of saying thank you to everyone that played their game.
And we are glad you asked that question about the mascots, because all three of them are singing in this song.
Yep.
This is a little love letter as well. Each mascot was in their own version of the game, helped you navigate through it, through your journeys. Now they're all here to wish you farewell.
Send you off on your rhythm game journey.
This is also now the default song that gets selected on all the offline caps when you start a credit. This is the first song it's just set to.
I'm sure there were a lot of people who went to their arcade on the day this was released and cried.
Yeah.
A lot.
Crying through the swipe notes.
Yeah.
I want to blame you if you're crying right now, honestly.
Yeah, I feel it.
Time will be at the end of this song, by the way.
And that is...
Ending with an...
Wait.
Time.
All marvelous.
Ending with an all marvelous. Well done.
Very iconic.
That's the end of the main run. As you see, you get this master rating for getting an all marvelous. None of any other judgment.
All right. Well, that is not the end of the showcase because we met our donation incentive. Would you guys like to explain the next 7 songs?
Yeah, so what we're getting into is kind of our reverse boss rush. So every single one of these songs that we'll play throughout here until Mobius was an unlock of some sort. So in reverse, they kind of did their own thing called gates. And so you would play the gate, you would unlock the song as you went through it. And so all of these were either boss songs of their gates or were just involved in the gate in some way.
We're gonna take it down one more notch just for a second, and once it starts getting hard again, it's not stopping until Mobius.
Yeah, the gates don't really exactly start with the hardest songs right away.
All right.
You gotta
Let's
go.
count down the timer.
Yep, all right.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go!
You see we have the background video back for this. Some of the songs in this game do have background videos. Usually we choose to dim them just for gameplay clarity, but a lot of songs have videos and they're good.
So this song was made by Emo Kosain, who is a pretty prominent figure in the rhythm game community because not only do they make a lot of songs for rhythm games, they also play them themselves and are actually really, really good. If you know Sound Voltex, they've achieved 21 Volt Force, insane. They do a lot of charting, even for stuff that isn't their own songs. So they're very trusted to make songs for this.
They're actually, in fact, an advisor for the Konami Esports
Yeah.
program, Konami Pro League.
You're gonna see a lot of symmetrical patterns in this one, kind of doing the same thing on both sides, patterns that require 2 hands, or in this case, 1 hand, but...
That's the kick we love to
More
hear.
of that signature Japanese hardcore kick.
We probably have time for some donations here.
Yeah, absolutely. $25 donation from Bokun the Chow. They say, our server's SHSL Rhythm Gamer has made it on the big stage. Love to see you thriving here, buddy. You absolutely deserve it. Have you thought about doing the Friday Night Funkin' next time? Also, Shigoli messed up and sent his dono early, adding his message here so you get to hear it. Not gonna lie, feels weird to see this actually happening. I thought you were joking years ago when you mentioned doing this. I still have to withhold some of my older cousinly approval because your segment is missing the critical staple composition, 4 minutes and 33 seconds, though. Rock on, Otterspawn, we're proud of you.
Nice.
Amazing.
Just a few greats there.
I think 2.
1 good.
Oh, 1 good.
Oh, 1 good. That's a weird one.
Yeah, you would have noticed it was a fast good.
Oh my god, I love Death Note.
Here.
God.
But like I was saying earlier, we've talked a lot about like the touch sensors when you slide. So notes are kind of hit when you go from not activating a sensor to activating a sensor. So you'll notice a lot of times in Wacca when you're playing and trying to do some slide stuff, you can very easily trigger a note too early because you are going outside of the touch sensor zone and accidentally activating a touch sensor that you didn't mean to. And so that 1 good would have been probably from something like that.
I need the dance emotes for this one, Twitch chat. This one's good. Banger.
Yeah, this chart is also very notorious for being one of the hardest, if not the hardest, 12 pluses in the game.
Sometimes difficulties are really just suggestions.
Yeah.
Rhythm gamers are known to endlessly debate difficulty levels.
According to the artist of this song, there are 6 drops in this song, so we are on the first.
It's like a roller coaster that I don't want to get off.
For those that don't know, we actually have a GDQ Wacca emote in the chat now. So drop your GDQ Waccas.
Yes. Probably have time for another donation or 2 here.
Yeah, absolutely. How about this? IGkin donates $5.73. Yeah, they say, hey, NB1RS and Orca, IGkin here. Welcome to the GDQ Music Game Showcase Hall of Fame. I'm so proud of you for getting in and showcasing this amazing game that has left us far too soon. Thank you for representing the Ohio rhythm game community and giving this can a new life. Wacca at Mistake on the Lake 6?
Please.
Donation to Mobius because they need to see this. Yes, they do.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't remember, AGKin actually ran a game called Dance Rush Stardom, which is the dance game that has the big like panel and you just kind of do a lot of shuffling on it. They ran that game in one of our local arcades in Ohio, and it was really awesome to see that in person.
Another quick one, this one came in during the Mobius train and actually finished us when we were almost there. $1,337 from Penguin. Thanks so much. They said, I suppose I do want to see Mobius.
Well, you're gonna get it.
Bookworm214 donates $5 and says, $5 for a supreme display of non-binary swag.
Nice, Missless. This is probably the point in the run where we can start to mention that physical endurance is absolutely a factor in this game, as you can probably see from NB1RS moving all over the place. And,
Yeah.
Mobius being at the end of this run is arguably a death sentence, so lots more to come.
Yeah, we jumped down a little bit for the reverse boss rush. So not really a boss rush. We kind of gave them a little bit of a break, but we are going straight back up. We're going into Yogg, I believe.
I would say the latter 5 songs of this section are all boss songs in my mind. So
It's pretty
They
much
are.
nonstop from here.
That is how they get you to keep
Pray for
pumping.
my arms.
Yeah, using this menuing as a brief break.
That is how they get you to keep coming back to the arcade with these progression systems, making you put in lots of plays to unlock songs, and with all the more enticing, harder stuff at the end.
And then they make the hard stuff so hard you can't clear and you have to keep playing. So back you come again for another credit.
準備ができたら決定をしてくれ。もう一度君の力を見せてくれ。
So we've mentioned it a couple times throughout the showcase to watch this over the shoulder cam. This chart in particular has really, really fast movements around the circle, so you will definitely be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, this pattern requiring very heavy arm movement.
NB1RS is using some techniques to simplify patterns down a little bit. For example, some of these jacks, they will opt to instead alternate their hands to turn it from a jack into just a normal stream. Or even for some of these triple corded jacks, sometimes they will just swipe them or slide them.
いいぞ。
We get a little bit of a break here.
Probably do another donation.
Yeah, absolutely. From Swami-sama, they donate $50 and say, I always love seeing rhythm games showcased at GDQ. NB1RS is destroying this run and deserves more time on the big stage.
Crazy hold here.
Yeah.
Thank you to CH. They donate $5 and say, the best part of Wacca Reverse was when they said, it's Morbin time, and morbed all over those guys.
So true.
They warped so hard the game is now offline.
True. They morbed too close to the sun.
I can't understate how many times that joke has been made. being an arcade rhythm gamer when that song was coming out was like living in permanent deja vu.
We're reviving all the Wacca memes right now.
Yeah.
Super fast at the end.
ミスです。
Wow.
995 really good
995
on
is
that.
amazing
That's
on
crazy
this.
good.
That is one of my favorite songs in the game. In the Wacca Discord server, my name has been Yoggenjoyer for about 2 years.
Yeah, really anything
one
above a 990 on any of these songs going forward is going to be extremely impressive.
Yeah. With that max score 990 being 99% accurate.
Yeah, while the game was still online, it actually had a function. It doesn't display it. Well, it does. In the offline version, it says rate, but it just kind of has a hyphen to indicate it's not there. While it was online, NB1RS mentioned at the beginning of the showcase, you could actually scan a card and it would log you in. As you played songs, what it basically does is it takes the rating of the song, pretty much multiplies it by like the score you get, and it gives you a certain amount of rating. And so it's kind of a way for players to track their progress. And so NB1RS really got up there in the top like rankers of the game, according to rating. It was really just stuff like Mobius. I almost said Morbius there. Stuff like Mobius that really separates players' ratings from each other.
It's another song that's crossed over out into a lot of other games from Wacca. Also a banger.
Yeah.
Get that bass in your face.
Face in your face.
It is.
Yeah, the name of the game for this chart is definitely going to be finesse. You have to really be careful around those touch sensors. Nice.
Overhanding those R notes, very tricky.
And on top of the physical endurance that this game takes, it is just also really physically demanding to be able to keep on time with notes, especially on the top of the touch sensor.
Bunch
Nice.
of brackets there, hit them all. Nice.
Yeah, it's very easy to lose a lot of score in that section, because if you hit one thing early or late, then it's just going to tank your score.
いいぞ。
Nice. Very careful with these staircases that go from one side to the other with the tap notes. NB1RS is sliding them, but it can be very easy to trigger a note early.
Yeah. Opting for sliding, making it easier to perform, but harder to accuracy.
There's tons of sections in this chart that will just...
Oh, made that 990. Saved it. That ending burst is like so much of your score.
That ending is worth like probably half of the song, honestly.
Yeah.
There's just so many points in that song that'll just take your score. It's really just name the game.
At the high end of most rhythm games, when you're playing a lot of these harder songs, there's usually one section that sort of decides your score in the sense, because you can play the easier parts of the song with not much trouble.
Time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
Yep.
$250 from Cartoxis. They say, thank you, Marvelous, for having made this amazing game. To NB1RS for showcasing this intense skill, and to Games Done Quick for getting this game on the stage. Dive forever.
Yeah, shout out Marvelous. They made a pretty good game on their first try, I would say.
Yeah. Really impressive. Let's hope they make a second.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
Really getting into the meat of this chart here with these swipes, where it will make you have kind of one hand on the top of the circle, which physically is a lot more intense than keeping on the bottom half, and it'll make you swipe on the other sides. Really intense transition there. Lots of these swipes.
You can see the swiping hand getting very far over, almost underneath the other one.
Good job on those R notes.
Quick break. Maybe we could do a donation here.
$25 from Rhythmic. They say hello from the Toronto rhythm game community. Thank you for featuring Wacca. I hope more awareness for arcade rhythm games helps these games reach more places.
I think part of the reason why there's such a really tight-knit community is because these games make you really go out to your local arcade, help you support them, and meet people who are also just as interested.
Yeah, rhythm games are very social. You know, gamers are known for being social, of course. So when you have to go into an arcade with other people that play the same games as you and actually interact in person, it creates a lot of really long-lasting bonds. Like, I mean, with NB1RS, I met them when Wacca was first starting. So I've seen them play this game from the very beginning all the way until now. And just watching their improvement throughout that period has been insane. Very intense forward and backward swipes.
Wow, really good score. Full combo to
Wow.
14. Very, very good. That's a huge score.
That is
Actually, yeah, no, that's so impressive.
Well done.
That might actually be my personal best.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have time for a couple donations here as we're changing the set.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to point everybody's attention towards the fact that we're at $1.292 million raised for Doctors Without Borders. Such an incredible number. Still on the push to hit that 1.3 million. The $5 dono train, it might have slowed down a little bit, but it didn't stop. We got $100 from Stag of Artemis, who says, how about $25? Thank you so much. $25? yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, they say, 1, watching NB1RS is breathtaking. I've played this game and my jaw has been on the floor this whole run. 2, Melo has an amazing and soothing voice. He could record an audiobook or be on a talk radio show. Let's keep the train rolling for more GDQ. That's a really nice thing to say to your host.
So jumping into Dangerous Jungle here, these final 3 songs, yes, final 3,
Last credit.
these are going to be basically the 3 hardest songs of the game. Dangerous Jungle has a lot of really crazy chain note patterns that require you to be very careful with where you're holding your hand and making sure that you're holding it there. And then the next 2 songs after this are just insane. You guys need to stick around to see this.
Probably my personal favorite song in the showcase. Definitely watch the shoulder cam on this one. The motions this song makes you do are ridiculous.
It's really fitting for this song. It really gets you into there. Makes you want to go wild, you know?
Great job. These chain notes here is what I was talking about. You have to be really careful to hold the entire thing.
That part is really tricky, having to reset your hand and cross over while doing the full panel spins.
Nice.
Very technical section here.
These tap notes that are on top of the holds can be very dangerous because when you hit the hold, you get a judgment for it. And then if you move your hand at all after that, you can trigger those tap notes.
A very tricky sliding strat here.
It's all about finesse.
Yeah, too fast or too slow, and you just get a ton of greats and other judgments.
Coming up to the last section of the song here, and it really ramps up.
And these layered MIDI checks with holds, leading into these chords, these brackets with forward swipes.
Didn't have enough notes, have some more.
Oh
my God. That's
Really good score still.
yeah, 992.
Over 990.
Ranging
Oh, yeah.
goods to misses.
Yeah.
While we were doing practice runs for this, I was very worried that NB1RS was going to get up here, get into Dangerous Jungle, and their arms were just going to fall off.
Yeah.
Because they've been playing this game so much this weekend, but the absolute stamina that they're showing right now is unbelievable.
So this is the last song of the bonus, and then we have Mobius after.
Time is at the end of the song.
Yep. So, you know, the territory we're in now is just really hard.
Yeah, there's really not much to say. I mean, Dimension Hacker, known for having a fairly high BPM, it's very rhythmically intense. It kind of goes to show just all of the things that they developed throughout Wacca's lifespan. Throws in a ton of jacks, a lot of really hard to read sections. Some of these rhythms get into like tuplet territory for all you musically minded people out there. It really is just the kitchen sink.
And it's also when they really start to be brutal with their R note placements as well.
Yep. Remember, those R notes are word double. You do not want to miss any of them.
This song is also going to go through a lot of different genres. So it kind of has a metal break. Go straight back into speedcore.
Two greats.
Wow.
Very good start.
Don't jinx it.
Tons of movement here.
And all R notes.
A little speed gimmick, because why not?
Nice.
Quick break. Before it just gets techie again.
Yep.
Really no rest in these. Enjoy the cab lights on the top there.
Yep. A little bit of chip tune.
It's like their own little light show.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
God. Crazy score. Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's one of the hardest songs of the game.
That's insane.
Crazy.
And that's a
one
996. One miss.
One miss, one good. Holy. Wow. Oh, that's time, by the way. Wow. Holy. All right.
All right.
It's time.
It's Mobius. For all the statists out there who want to see me die, you're getting your wish. Good job.
This is the one. So after all that, now NB1RS has to play the hardest song ever made for the game. It's not even close. This is the hardest song in the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say. They did so many things in this chart that just do not exist anywhere else in the game. It both serves as kind of a stark reminder of what maybe Wacca could have gone on to develop into.
Please no.
Maybe could have done more 15s and developed it more. But because that didn't happen, we now have Mobius as this shining beacon of just, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
I mean, they knew it was coming to an end, so why not literally just go all out?
The truth of the universe, as the charter name, goes so hard.
Yeah, very, very ominous.
Hey, do y'all remember when the whole crowd said, "It's Morbin time"?
Shout out to Jared Leto.
Hello, crowd? Can you say it's Morbin time?
Oh my God.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing. All right, let's count down. Ready? 3,
2,
1, start.
Good luck.
You'll need it.
Scary.
Have fun also.
Or not.
Yeah, pay attention to the movement on the camera here. This is absolutely demanding. You'll see they changed their hold color to white, just fully changing all their settings to what they prefer, optimizing as much as they can to play this very hard song.
Yeah, and we probably won't do much commentating over this song, but just a big thing that this chart does that's kind of special is it will throw brackets in at pretty much any given opportunity. It just makes you have to have your hand in that much more of a precise position. And when the notes get so dense, like something like this, it becomes so easy to drop a lot of score.
Those swipes at the top of the panel.
Insane.
So exhausting.
A little bit of a break section here.
This is not a break.
Closest you get to a break is right
Yeah,
here.
no.
If you want score, this is not a break.
It's very easy to hit these early in the holds. Does a really good job to handle those. 992 out of the break is very, very good pace here.
Here we go.
Into the final rush here.
Here we go, into the outro. Really good run.
It's a 970?
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Come on.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Don't.
Oh my.
Let's go.
Wow.
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 Well done. Oh my God.
We were aiming for a 960 on that
Yeah.
song. A 970, that's so impressive.
Hey, you can take a picture of that one.
So, yeah.
If they're taking a picture, you know it's a good score.
Yeah. Cool.
Well
My
done.
memory may be foggy, but when the leaderboards were online for this game, the amount of people who had higher than a 990 on this song was 2.
2.
Yeah.
And you saw plenty of 990s on everything lower than this, but 15 is just a whole uncharted territory. Truly
Literally.
uncharted territory.
All right. I'm just going to go ahead and go through some shout-outs real quick. Shout out to Psychic Drive for bringing us the cab. Oh my God.
There they are.
We love you.
They're so cool.
We love you.
If you want to see more arcade games at events like this, support your arcade vendors. So that includes Psychic Drive, Credits Remaining, Snow Phoenix, 100 Yen Life, people like those. They are bringing these cabs to events so you can play on them. So if you want to experience more of these, please support them. Shout out to our local arcades, Starcade, AL, Game Underground, Red Note, Zenith, The Cave, Game Nest. These people are giving people accessibility to these kinds of games so you can play them. If you don't live near an arcade, you can support Steam developers. So shout outs to the dev teams behind X-Driver, Unbeatable, Noise Starlight, and Vivid Stasis. And then, other than that, shout outs to Dex. He was a commentator who wasn't able to make it. He wanted us to shout out Fauna for him. So shout outs to Fauna. Shout outs to Star Rod Kirby for inspiring me to do this showcase in the first place. I saw the My showcase 2 years ago and I was like, oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever. I could do that. Shout outs to Skibble. And then finally, shout outs to the Wacca charting team for making all of these amazing charts, for being such great level designers. And I think from there, I'm gonna hand it back to my host. So take it away.
Thank you so much, y'all. Give it up again for NB1RS. Such a beautiful, fantastic, high-skill showcase. I am blown away having watched that run. What a great night. Wow, y'all having a good Friday night?
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, we're gonna send it over to my friends, a couple people I know, the interview team for the Red Bull Daily Recap. Take it away, folks.